Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Apopka High School welcomes you to Joe Sterling Gymnasium for game number 5 of the 9th annual Metro vs. Florida Challenge, presented by Burn Fat Orlando and St. Germain Chiropractic. Please welcome our guests. Wearing the blue jerseys, visitors on the scoreboard from Wekiva High School, they are the Mustangs. And wearing the white jerseys, of course they will be home on the scoreboard, from Apopka High School, it's your host school, the Blue Darters. Let's meet the teams, beginning with our guests from Wekiva. And we will start at guard with 5'7" junior, number 3, Mayanna Garrett. At guard, 5'5" junior, number 12, Briara Williams. At guard, 5'9" junior, number 15, Emmy James. At forward, 5'8" junior, number 42, Erica Simmons. And finally for the Mustangs, at forward, 5'9" senior, number 24, Alexis Choice. The head coach of the Mustangs in his 7th year at Wekiva, Mr. Tommie Butts. And now let's meet the Apopka High School Blue Darters. Starting at guard and forward with 5'11" sophomore number 1, Trinity Nickens. At guard and wing, 5'6" sophomore number 5, Kiera Knight. At point guard, 5'7" junior number 11, Curry Thompson. At center, 5'8" senior number 23, Shante Alexander. And the head coach of the Blue Darters in her 3rd year at Apopka, Brittany Hardy. The officials for tonight's game are from the Central Florida Officials Association here in Orlando. Tonight's game is being webcast live at our YouTube channel, Metro vs. Florida Challenge. Make sure your friends and family know that they can join us in real time and watch play-by-play. You can also get live stats from our website, metrovsfl.com, as well as links to our live coverage. And that will work on your favorite mobile device, computer, or even a smart TV if you want to watch at home on the big screen. Again, Metro vs. Florida Challenge. And good evening to those of you joining us online. My name is Mark Barchi, the media director of the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, although I normally introduce myself as the voice of the Mustangs. And I am joined here by Neil Fisher of the Apopka Chief to take you through tonight's contest. And a very surreal experience, I think, for both of us.
Yes, sir, Mark, you said it. And again, say it every time, an excellent job of introducing and getting the excitement going here.
Elisa Lugo puts the Darters on the board for 3.
And again, as you mentioned, Mark, this is not a Metro versus Florida. This is not just 2 Metro teams. This is not even 2 District 9A3 teams. This is 2 Apopka teams. Only 5 miles separate the school. Obviously, if you follow high school sports in the Northwest Orange County area, you know that this is a geographical rivalry.
And an air ball put up there by Bree Williams. So not the start we expected to see from the Mustangs. And Neil, you and I are going to try to call this one as evenly as we can, but I will admit to it being a bit of a surreal experience to see the Mustangs in blue and to watch Wekiva playing as the guest school at Apopka.
Yeah, and of course, as a reporter with the Chief,
Bree Williams, 4-3 on the pass from Emmy James.
As a reporter with the Chief, my responsibility is to cover both schools as evenly and as unbiased as I can as far as favoring one or the other.
Mayanna Garrett steals 2 for the Mustangs.
However, the last 4 or 5 years, Wekiva has certainly been the very more dominant team Apopka has definitely taken a dip, downturn, while Wekiva has become one of the premier teams in the state. Of course, 5 years ago they won the state championship. They've made 3 runs to the state Final Four since then, and they won 4 district championships and have gone 5 straight times to the state tournament. Barring a complete upset, a huge upset, it'll be 6 straight times into the FHSAA postseason tournament.
Kiera Knight picks up 3 on the pass from Curry. Thompson.
Coming into tonight's game, and you never know it here with the start, but Apopka is certainly looking up.
Savannah McAfee gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against Bree Williams. That's her first personal foul and the team's first. Checking into the game for the Mustangs, number 21, Tanisha Bowles.
So as I started to say there, Apopka is certainly the team that's looking upwards in this rivalry and their status among the state. They were only 2-13 coming into the month of January. Wekiva, of course, 10-4. Wekiva right now is 13-5, and those 5 losses, they don't consider 13-5 to be a very good record, because the 5 losses are to other teams that are expecting to make long runs into the FHSAA postseason tournament.
And an easy pick there for Emmy James. And Mayanna Garrett misses a bunny layup.
So for those of you who aren't familiar with Apopka, Brittany Hardy, of course, is in their 3rd year. I actually know her way back when she was a student here at Apopka about a decade ago. The 2007-2008 team was a state semifinalist in Class 8A, and she was the face of that team, the point guard.
Held ball, possession Mustangs, and we'll pause for a 30-second timeout requested by Wekiva. And we'll take this opportunity to thank our friends at Burn Fat Orlando, who challenge you to lose up to 30 to 40 pounds. Step on the scale and prove it to yourself with their money-back guarantee. If you don't lose weight in the first 10 days, they'll refund your money. Call now at 855-889-THIN. That's 855-889-THIN to get the tools and guidance you need to achieve better health and your weight loss goals. And Neil, I know that if you follow District 9A4, it is very easy to fall into the trap of assuming that your 9A3, I'm thinking of football for a minute there, 9A3, you can easily fall into the trap of assuming that Apopka that Wekiva and West Orange are the presumptive representatives in the FHSAA postseason tournament. But Apopka has a chance here to prove that they are a contender against one of the top teams, not only in the district, but the state.
Yeah, and again, I know what I just said there about it would be a very, very big upset if West Orange and Wekiva did not get into the FHSAA postseason tournament.
Second chance basket made by Alexis Choice.
So what I meant by that, I didn't mean that Wekiva and West Orange clearly are the better teams when you stack them up talent and skill-wise, but it's not like a complete head and shoulders that all they have to do is step onto the court and they'll automatically win. They do present a challenge, as we're seeing tonight here as we approach 4 minutes in the first quarter.
Yeah, we've certainly seen probably better overall ball handling from the Mustangs, but some hot shooting from Apopka actually has given them the lead, 9-7. Still very early, though, just 4 minutes into this district contest.
So these two teams, of course, played on November 30th, and Wekiva took a 68-25 victory. Much improved team from Apopka. And as I mentioned, of course, Coach Hardy is a former player herself. She was the point guard of the 2007-8 team, which went all the way to the state semifinals in Class A. And now you're seeing her use that knowledge as a player. She's translating it into coach, and very much like her coach, Miriam Jenkins, who, of course, moved on a few years ago. Coach Jenkins, I guess you could say her pedigree, what she was known for was taking a team that was pretty good at the beginning of the season and turning them not just into a district championship contender, but a team capable of making those long runs into the FHSAA postseason tournament. And
Foul is called against Savannah McCaffey, her first personal, the team's first, and Myanna Garrett will shoot 2 for the Mustangs.
So I would say that Coach Hardy has a ways to go before she's able to get a team that can make a deep run into the tournament, the FHSAA postseason tournament, but she has done a very good job as far as getting the program to start moving in that direction of progressing throughout the season in her 3 years, despite the record. And, of course, Wekiva, they are missing 2 of their biggest players. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see Myanna Garrett tonight.
Oh, yeah, you are. She's out there right now.
Okay, I apologize. Myanna Garrett is a 2018 Sentinel honorable mention. Unfortunately, the biggest loss, and she's actually transferred to Wekiva from Apopka, Sadeja Payne is also a 2018 Sentinel honorable mention. As we mentioned, Wekiva is currently 13-5, and those 5, she's been out for about a month now, and several of those losses, or several plays in which Wekiva wound up at the wrong end, probably would not have wound up that way with Sadeja. As we mentioned, being the regular broadcasters for Wekiva, she brings so much speed, but she knows how to use it, and she translates that into so many different areas of the ball game.
Yeah, and while she's not out there right now, she is registered on the roster tonight, so we'll see if we get to see some action from her as Shania McCarthy puts up 2 for the Mustangs. Hold is called against Myanna Garrett. That is her first, the team's second. Three won't go for Lugo.
And by the way, just one last thought about Wekiva's status as a state power, and of course the team always expecting to contend for the state championship. They are currently number 8 in the Class 9A rankings according to Max Prep.
Yeah, so in spite of their 5 losses, I've said this before, that all 5 of those are what I would call honorable losses. And we're going to get Alexis Choice for 2 on the pass from Denisha Bowles.
Full timeout of Apopka, 2:02 in the first.
And we'll pause here for a full timeout requested by the Blue Darters. And we'll take this opportunity to thank some more of our friends who helped to make the Metro vs. Florida Challenge possible, including Elevate Orlando. They are a civic nonprofit that helps students to grow in strength of character and application of essential life skills. They teach that program in the classroom, they model it through mentoring, and they incorporate it into all they do so that students can apply it to their lives. And they have a partnership with Orange County Public Schools to offer their curriculum as an accredited elective course. Check them out on the web. Just search for Elevate Orlando and check out their 98% graduation rate and 96% post-secondary placement. We also want to thank AM 1520 WBZW, who are terrific supporters of Blue Darter athletics all year long, and particularly with the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. We appreciate their generous promotion of our event, getting the word out to the greater Apopka area. AM 1520 WBZW, your hometown station. And we want to thank the City of Apopka and Commissioner Kyle Becker for his support of the Metro vs. Florida Challenge. So the Blue Darters take a moment to talk things over, as they clearly have started to have their momentum slip here. And Myanna Garrett gets a hand on that one.
And Wekiva is now, they've played most of the game in a zone. They're now using a...
Traveling Mustangs ball.
So Apopka is content to play half-court defense here in a 2-1-2.
Bowles tries to get inside to Choice. The ball gets swatted out of bounds by the Darters, Shantae Alexander. Closing in on the last $1:21 of the first period here. Let me fix the clock here to match what it says in the arena. Denisha Bowles for 3 on the pass from Emmy James.
And now we got some trapping going on right in front of us, Mark, here at the scorer's table.
30-second timeout requested by Apopka.
30-second timeout, 103 in the first period.
And ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a moment to remind you that we have 20 games of basketball action coming your way over this Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. We had 3 games last night. This is the second of 3 games tonight, and then we have 7 each on Saturday and Monday. Tonight's game that you're watching right now is actually a little bit of a departure from the format. Since this is not Metro versus Florida, this is actually Metro versus Metro. More than that, it's District 4 versus District 4. This one counts toward the postseason as the Mustangs and the Blue Darters face off in a crosstown rivalry. After this game, we'll go back to the regular format, though, in what will promise to be one of the most explosive contests of the entire event. The 2-time defending state champion Leesburg Yellow Jackets will take on the Elite Eight Edgewater Eagles, and that's coming up later tonight to finish us off for day 2.
And as you mentioned, Mark, of course, a departure in a number of ways. This particular game, last year was the first year that the girls played.
And Denisha Turner gets called here for traveling. Mustangs ball.
So we talked about this throughout the first quarter, and as the first quarter comes to end, just want to stress again, somewhat of a surprise here that Apopka is only down by 8 points here.
Mayanna Garrett with a second chance basket. Boy, you almost want to give Bowles an assist for that. It was such a bad shot, but such a good use of getting the ball to the inside anyway.
So Apopka, at least for the first 7 minutes or so, has been able to stay, give Wekiva a challenge. Of course, now I think the difference in skill and talent and also physical attributes is starting to kick in here.
Backcourt violation. And you see a lot of teams make this mistake, that they see it's going to be a backcourt violation no matter what, so they just kind of let the ball go. You're still better off, though, causing the backcourt violation closer to half court, because otherwise you give them the ball under the basket. Of course, Apopka's not going to take advantage of it here because clearly they didn't know how much time was left on the clock. But in any case, that takes us to the end of the first period. And after trailing early, the Mustangs have mounted a 17-9 lead over the Blue Darters at the end of 8 minutes. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the second quarter.
White ball. Next jump ball goes to Wekiva.
So as we get back here to live action, start of the second quarter, Wekiva up 17-9. Apopka misses the first field goal attempt. And quick look at the score here. First off, Apopka, as you mentioned, was down early.
Who got that one, Mark? 3.
Garrett.
Mayanna Garrett opens up second quarter scoring for the Mustangs.
Is it 11-0 run? 9-8 was it?
I believe so.
So Wekiva now on an 11-0 run. It looks like they're starting to find their game. Well, not starting, but they have found their game. A slow start for Wekiva's actually turned around. Statistics looking pretty good. Nothing that stands out, but respectable. 7 of 17 from the field goal percentage, so about 40%. Much better for 2-point. 5 of 11. I believe they were 0 of 6 at one point. 0 of 5, so they definitely turned that around. And that 40% is compared to 20% for Apopka, only 3 of 8. So not only is Wekiva shooting the ball much better, the actual percentage, but they have a 17-8 advantage in field goal attempts. Make that 19-8.
Putback made by Denisha Bowles. By Mayanna Garrett.
But I think more than the field goal percentage, and the field goal is what really, really sticks out, is Apopka turned the ball over 9 times in the first quarter compared to 4 for Wekiva.
There's another 3.
Denisha Bowles, 4-3.
So now a 16-0 run, by Wekiva. And I believe in that run they've only missed 1 free field goal attempt.
Denisha Turner gets the basket for the Mustangs and for the Blue Darters, and will pause for a Mustang timeout. 30-second timeout is requested by Wekiva. We'll pause to thank our friends at St. Germain Chiropractic, offering the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida, Orlando area. If you have back or neck pain, you have headaches, or if you've been involved in an auto accident or a slip and fall injury, or maybe you have some musculoskeletal conditions, they can help you out. Head over to St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, where they accept most insurance. And so, Neil, you know Coach Butts, always the perfectionist, being on an 18-2 run, still not good enough for him, as he wants to make some adjustments.
Well, absolutely. Even though they are on an 18-2 run, the score is still 13 points difference. And all it takes is a couple of mistakes, and suddenly you got a 9-8 point lead. Strong rebounding underneath the basket there, getting that body right where it needs to be.
White 23.
Darter's foul is called against number 23, Shante Alexander, on the push. It's her first and the team's third.
So again, Mark, when I was going over the stats, turnovers really stuck out too. 9-4 in favor of Wekiva. Apopka having the 9 turnovers. And that sticks out even more when you consider Wekiva turned the ball over a couple times during the first 2 minutes. When Apopka came out with that fury and that deluge.
Nice work there by Denisha Bowles on that block, and then manages to get it to bounce off of Thompson to go out of bounds. So essentially causing a team defensive rebound in addition to getting the blocked shot there, as Alexis Choice returns for the Mustangs.
So in one of the themes, I guess you could say, we've talked about throughout the season, Mark, is Alexis Choice did not play last season, and she missed about 40% of this season due to a knee injury. She's only been back in the lineup for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah, and this is something that has been a struggle for the Mustangs for the last few years, going back to the days of Etienne Holloway and then Alexis Choice, and now more recently with Garrett and Payne. The Mustangs have just had the hardest time staying healthy. Alexis Choice is fouled on the attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. The foul is called against the Blue Darters. Number 25, Denasia Turner. That's her first personal foul on the team's 4th. And you hear both Coach Butts and Coach Russ deeply unhappy with what's going on the front court for the Mustangs, even though it's actually working out okay anyway, as Choice was able to draw that foul and she hits her first free throw. One out of 2, but an offensive rebound goes to Bowles, and the Mustangs will get an opportunity to add to their lead here. Bowles loses her dribble. Has to go out to Williams. Inside to Choice. Choice will take it from the paint. Too hot.
Nice
rebound tonight.
Nice rebound there by Knight. Again, textbook form, getting that body in between the 2 other Wekiva players and getting the arms up high.
Traveling Mustangs ball, checking into the game for the Blue Darters, number 24, Savannah McAfee. James cuts to the inside. Good bounce pass. Bowles not able to get it. Tries again. Still can't get it. Gets her own rebound. Goes for a third and gets called for traveling.
Unfortunately for Wekiva, just too much momentum there when she came down on her back foot. So with 3:33 left, a 14-point lead for Wekiva. Something of a surprise, at least in my opinion, considering how fierce that onslaught was for about 10 minutes there.
Yeah, certainly not the start we expected from Wekiva, but unfortunately Apopka, for their part, seems to have gone for the sprint instead of the marathon, and they may have used up all their mojo early. Alexis Choice on the pass to Madeline Touze for a long 2-point jumper.
And there in that possession, you saw pretty much the trademark, if you will, the calling card of Wekiva.
Foul is called against Mustangs number 12, Bree Williams. Her second personal foul and the team's 4th. And Emmy James comes out of the game for the Mustangs.
And, of course, that calling card is great inside, outside, inside passing on the offensive end. Again, quite fluidic movement there. Got that 2-point field goal. Look.
And a little miscommunication there between Williams and McAfee. Zigged when they were expected to zag, I guess, and goes right out of bounds. Mustangs are going to try to return the favor here, and we're going to get a call of a held ball, possession Mustangs. Checking into the game for Wekiva, number 42, Erica Simmons.
So while we have an opportunity here, Mark, again, because we do cover Wekiva on a regular basis, we talked about a couple of the young players for the boys team. The girls actually have 3 themselves who have gotten onto the varsity team as freshmen.
Bree Williams is called on the push. It's her third, the team's fourth.
And, of course, those players are Deshishe Carter, Madeline Touze, and McCarthy. McCarthy and Touze have been with the varsity team since the beginning of the season. Carter just recently got promoted to varsity.
Curry Thompson gets the basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. The foul is called against Mustangs number 3, Mayanna Garrett. Her second personal foul, the team's fifth.
So a much-needed basket there and some momentum by Apopka. If he makes his free throw, we're looking at a 13-point game with 2:20 left in the first half. To use the old cliche, she made a withdrawal there at the bank. Of course, to use a second cliche, it doesn't matter how they go in, they all count the same.
Simmons swings to Touze. Back over to Garrett. It's double teamed and she's going to turn it over. Out of bounds, Darters ball.
So a couple of mistakes here by Wekiva, and Apopka now has an opportunity to cut this lead down to 10 before halftime. I'm not saying on this possession, but by halftime. And again, considering what these teams brought to the table, when you look at the paper, that is something of a victory for Apopka.
Garrett tries to take it all the way herself. Nice head fake there as Mayanna Garrett takes a Mustang layup. That was textbook there, Neil, as Apopka left the lane open, and Garrett did exactly what she's supposed to do, which was turn her eyes to the right, look like she was going to pass, fake out the Blue Darters, and stay wide open for an easy layup.
Yeah, no hesitation. Went straight for the drive there when the mistake was committed.
Second chance basket by Mayanna Garrett. Although a good block there by Savannah McAfee.
Well, and again,
just no follow-up.
About 30 seconds ago, I pointed out that Apopka had a shot at cutting the lead down to 10 points here at halftime, and just like that, that pretty much looks like it's over. Now I'd say the goal is to get it down to 15. At the very least, don't let the lead get any more than the current 17.
3-1 go for Thompson. Touze gets the rebound. Bowles throws it away. It was a good idea. She just was off target.
So, of course, when you have a 17-point lead, you can afford those kind of plays.
Yeah, a couple of moments there for the blooper reel.
And now Apopka does have an opportunity here to maybe establish some semblance of their game here.
Curry Thompson to Savannah McAfee for a long 2-point jump shot for the Darters.
And now important basket here, important possession. If Apopka can stop Wekiva, they do go in with some momentum. And they are going to be successful even though they don't score.
That takes us to the end of the first half. The Mustangs out to a 15-point advantage. 31-16 is your score at halftime.
Every time they go over to the left there, they go on a 45-degree angle.
Yeah, you're on the 3.
looks like we're going to get some halftime entertainment from the Apopka band, so instead of making you watch a graphic for the next 8 minutes, we'll leave it right here in the arena. The Darters have the opening possession of the third period.
Jump ball goes for Kyler.
And welcome back to Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Again, Mark Parchi, Media Director for the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Here with Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief. Here to take you through the second half of tonight's contest. And after an explosive start for the Blue Darters, it's been all Wekiva for the last quarter and a half or so, Neil.
Yeah, and again, sometimes statistics don't tell the whole story, but in this particular case they do. Apopka actually started off 2 of 3 as far as field goal attempt percentage.
Erica Simmons is fouled on the attempt here. She'll go to the line and shoot two. The Darters' foul is called on number 25, Denasia Turner, her second, the team's first of the half.
So 2 of 3 start for Apopka. Since, however, they are now 6 of 17 at halftime. That's a little bit better than 33%. In the meantime, Wekiva is 13 of 30. So once again, we've seen this, I believe, in every single game in which one of the teams has won by at least 15 points, and that's not only is the field goal percentage better, but there's far more field goal attempts being taken. In this particular case, Wekiva is 30 compared to 17 for Apopka, and that could also be related to the fact that Apopka's turned the ball over 14 times compared to 9 for Wekiva.
Lugo can't get the jumper to go here. Offensive rebound, though, coming tonight. Let's set the Darters up for another attempt there.
And Wekiva also holds a 20-9 advantage in rebounding. Oddly enough, well, actually not oddly, it's only 9-7 on the defensive end. The advantage is clearly on the offensive, which is 11-2.
Kira Knight gets her own putback for 2. And the Mustangs there unable to get their hands on the ball on 3 consecutive rebounding attempts, and so Knight finally manages to get it to go.
And if Apopka is going to have any shot at rallying here and at least giving Wekiva a challenge in the second half, they needed the start that they got there, cutting the lead to 3 points right away.
Bree Williams on the pass from Ayanna Garrett for 3.
Of course, there you see what Wekiva is very good at, as you would expect from a team with state championship aspirations on a yearly basis, and that's answering the start. Good passing, good spacing, and you get an open look for one of the best shooters, not just locally, but in the state.
Checking into the game for the Mustangs, Madeline Touzé and Deskai Carter.
And we mentioned in the first half that Touzé and Carter, who, as you just mentioned, Mark, entered the game. They are freshmen, something a bit unusual.
Yes, actually, specifically, Deskai Carter has played mostly JV minutes this season, but she has started to see some varsity action now as the Mustangs give the ball away here tonight. And at the other end, Savannah McCaffrey down the baseline for 2.
So good opportunity there by Apopka. We saw this at the end of the first quarter where Apopka turned the ball over and they allowed Wekiva to get an open shot. This time it was the opposite there. Wekiva made a mistake on defense and Apopka did not hesitate, setting up immediately for the open set shot.
Second chance basket is made by Alexis Choice. Lugo misses the 3. Choice on the rebound in transition. And it is Sky Carter and 1 for the Mustangs. Foul is called against Darters, number 24, Savannah McCaffrey. That's her 3rd personal foul. And the team's 2nd this half. Checking into the game for the Darters, number 25, Denasia Turner. And so Carter there picks up her first varsity points of the night. When she plays on JV, she is certainly one of the stars of that program. When she plays on varsity, she is providing some bench depth. And, of course, since JV is not playing today because this is part of a tournament event instead of being the usual doubleheader format, there's no reason that she can't participate on the varsity roster. Choice gets the rebound out to Tuze. Tuze can't get the jumper to go. And ultimately, it's going to be Turner who comes up with the rebound after a couple of tipped attempts by the Mustangs.
Yeah, hard fought rebound there. Credit to coming up with that. That was not an easy rebound.
Dirty basket by Curry Thompson.
Nice job of angling towards the basket, lowering the shoulder and creating a drive there, and using the backboard. So, Mark, I know you've mentioned this a couple of times tonight, but since we got a break in the action here, next game, Edgewater and Leesburg, that should be a great game, one of the main events of this tournament.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of coverage of that game. It is a high potential. Trinity Niggins gets, gets the rebound after the missed three.
So in that game, you got a two-time defending state champion going against a runner-up. Leesburg, of course, being a two-time state champion, and Edgewater being the state runner-up. And that's just most recently, both those teams, they have a number of those achievements in their resume. Not just, this isn't just a recent thing. So now Apopka is opened up as they play most of the game, 2-3 zone here. And again, we talked about the youth of Apopka. Unfortunately, Coach Hardy, most of the game she is outgunned, not just skill and talent, but physical attribute. And you see a 2-3 zone used often with a young team. Want to keep things simple for the inexperienced players.
Tanisha Bowles gets the basket and a chance to make it a three-point play. The foul is called against Blue Darters. Blue Darters number 5, Kiara Knight, her first personal foul, the team's third. Three-point play is a miss, and Turner gets the rebound for the Darters. To the other side, a three attempt from Knight is a little off the mark. We're going to get Carter is going to try to go coast to coast, but loses her dribble. Held ball, possession Darters. Knight can't get the three to go. And that's McCarthy over there not able to reel in the rebound, and so it'll stay on the white side of the court.
And now Wekiva, they've gone through a couple of different defenses. They've been playing man-to-man throughout the third quarter.
Number 11, Curry Thompson passes to Kiara Knight, 4-3.
So we mentioned this during the first half. Wekiva clearly is the better team, and this is the second time the two teams have met. We had a running clock in that first game, and I would think it would be something of a victory if Apopka can avoid the running clock for this game.
Curry Thompson in transition for the Blue Darters. Pass from Denisha Turner.
So cutting the lead to 14 points with 2 minutes left, certainly things looking up there for Apopka. And Apopka did a nice job of the door being left open by Wekiva. Bad decision. And now a hard far rebounding, we could get down to a 12-point game.
Curry Thompson fading away from the basket, 4-2. And we'll pause for a Mustangs timeout. Wekiva requests a full timeout. We'll take this opportunity to thank some of the folks who make the Metro vs. Florida Challenge possible. A 20-game showcase is no small task, and we thank our friends at Burn Fat Orlando who invite you and encourage you to step on the scale every day as you watch the pounds melt away. If you don't lose weight within the first 10 days, they'll refund your money. Call them now at 855-889-THIN. That's 855-889-THIN. They offer a customized approach and personalized programs to get you some fast results with real nutrition and a strong support network. Burn Fat Orlando, lose up to 30 to 40 pounds. We also thank St. Germain Chiropractic Clinics, the best non-invasive healthcare services in the Central Florida, Orlando area. Accepting most insurance, they can help you with back and neck pain, headaches, auto accidents, slip and fall injuries, and more. St. Germain Chiropractic Clinic. When in pain, call St. Germain. All right, we are coming back to live action here with the Mustangs still having a commanding lead, but we're seeing some of that momentum slip to the Blue Darters' favor here mid to late third quarter, and so the Darters certainly not ready to go quietly into the night.
Yeah, absolutely, Mark, and we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, and I brought it up again before the timeout, when these two teams met about a month ago. Wekiva won by a running clock. If you're not familiar, the running clock comes into effect when the league rose to 35 points during the second half. And it looked like, based on that just avoiding a running clock would be a victory for Apopka. Now we're talking about a 12-point game heading into the third quarter.
Offensive charge is called against number 11, Madeline Touze. Shantae Alexander took that for the Blue Darters.
So that could certainly be a very important play here, not only just in this general sense, but as we get down to the end of the third quarter, Apopka is actually on a 7-0 run. What was once a 19-point lead is now 12. And looks like Apopka is going to hold the ball for the last shot here and try to cut it down to 10.
And actually, the true clock in the arena is about 10 seconds ahead of me here. Unfortunately, the technology here at Apopka is not compatible with our webcasting system, so we have to run the clock separately, and it occasionally gets a little bit off. Let's see if we can fix that now.
White 11.
Foul is called against Darters number 11, Curry Thompson.
So no harm, no foul there from the Wekiva perspective.
Nikki Butler picks up 2 for the Mustangs.
So good job there, using the body in order to shield the defender and get that easy layup.
And not a bad look for Curry Thompson there as time expired, but that takes us to the end of the third period, and the Mustangs are holding on to a 43-29 lead with 8 minutes left in the ball game. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the fourth quarter. That is if they want it. There they go.
So as we begin the fourth quarter here, a 14-point lead for Wekiva. And to be honest, all things considered, they have somewhat of luck playing into that. Apopka missed a couple of opportunities to cut that lead down to 10. And not the way you want to start the quarter if you're Wekiva. Definitely the way you want to start the quarter if you're Apopka.
Kiera Knight for 3 on the pass from Curry Thompson.
So looking at the stats here, that was a tremendous quarter for Apopka as they continue to shoot the ball well. Only 1 of 3 from 2-point range in the first quarter. But since then, they've been 50%, 4 of 8. They upped their overall percentage, 4 of 8 in the second, now 9 of 18. Wekiva actually is just a little bit behind at 14 of 32. Where the difference, both teams have hurt themselves from 3-point range, only 3 of 15 for Apopka and 4 of 12 for Wekiva. Where the advantage has certainly come in for Wekiva, and you can definitely relate it 100% to the score right now, is rebounding 30 to 19 in favor of Wekiva, 11-point difference. So if you add 2 points, actually if you just take half of those rebounds and put in 2 points for that, you're looking at 12 points, which is, and we have an 11-point difference right now. So Wekiva, and one other note here, Wekiva's really hurt itself at the free throw line. It doesn't really stick out like that rebounding, but they are only 3 of 8, so that's 5 points which they have left on the table.
And the Mustangs were ready to give up on that one, but it was in fact deflected out of bounds, I believe, by Alexander.
And again, remember when these two teams met about a month ago at Wekiva, Wekiva won with the running clock. Running clock means 35 points or more as far as the lead in the second half.
Alexis Choice is fouled on the putback attempt. She'll go to the line and shoot 2 for the Mustangs. The foul is called against Darters, number 23, Shantae Alexander. Her second personal foul, the team's 5th. Alexis Choice is famous for that, as she goes for the rebound and the putback attempt. She's bound and determined if she's not going to get the basket on the putback, she's at least going to draw a foul in the process. As Savannah McAfee comes back into the game for Apopka.
And by the way, Mayanna Garrett is the leading scorer. She has 13 points here entering the fourth quarter. Six minutes left in the game, Mark. A 13-point lead for Wekiva. Apopka's fought them tooth and nail. As we mentioned, certainly not the same game that it was a month ago when Wekiva won with the running clock.
Bree Williams back for the Mustangs.
And now Apopka has gone man-to-man. They have played 2-3 zone in spots during this game as well.
Good pass, but Nikki Butler's shot is short. Rebound is finally chased down by Kiera Knight.
So Apopka doing a nice job of help defense, collapsing on Butler there after she appeared to have an open shot.
Good work there by Mayanna Garrett, getting hands on the ball. And this time she tries a little too hard. Diana Garrett is called in the reach in. That is her third personal foul, the team's second. Returning to the game for the Mustangs, Erica Simmons and Tanisha Bowles. Held ball, possession of Apopka. Jump shot by Savannah McAfee.
And so now, Mark, as you've mentioned a couple of times, life is getting interesting here, an 11-point lead.
Putback scored for the Mustangs by Alexis Choice.
And every time Apopka has seemed to be in a position to be able to get that lead under 10 points, Wekiva has answered. Another strong rebound there for Choice. As we talked about, Mark, she missed about a year and a third with a knee injury, and now you see the difference.
Kiera Knight adds 2 for the Darters.
Strong move there for Knight. A dip of the shoulder and good body control.
Simmons, I think, might have got her shot blocked a little bit. Foul is called against Trinity Nickens, her first, the team's 6th.
That's a 3.
Tanisha Bowles adds 3 for the Mustangs.
So a name we haven't mentioned in a while, Mark, but comes up big there, needed an answer.
Answered with a 3 from Savannah McAfee.
And again, we've mentioned it all game, and bit of a surprise. Apopka's not going away, and this game certainly is not going to end with a running clock like the game a month ago did.
Good defensive work there by Turner. Foul is called against number 11, Curry Thompson. That's her second personal foul, the team's 7th, and it will put the Mustangs into bonus. At the line for Wekiva, Erica Simmons. Simmons hits her first and earns another.
Very calm at the line there, Mark. Good follow through, too. Short the second time.
Bree Williams gets the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. The foul is called against number 5, Kiera Knight, her second, the team's 8th.
So what could have been as low as a 9-point lead now could grow as much as 15 here, and does. And at the beginning of this quarter, I mentioned that Wekiva was only 3 of 8, leaving 5 points on the table. They're now actually 4 of 4 at the charity stripe, haven't missed a free throw yet, and now they catch a break here. Some bad dribbling, some bad decisions by Apopka, and Wekiva immediately jumps onto the ball and gets it up the court.
Darter's foul is called against number 5, Kiera Knight. That's her third and the team's 9th. At the line shooting 1-and-1 bonus, Alexis Choice. Mayanna Garrett is called on her second personal foul. It's the team's third.
And now with 2.5 minutes left, Wekiva retreats back to half-court defense.
Putback made by Alexander.
That's a three.
Answered with a three by the Mustangs, and we'll pause for a timeout.
Full timeout. Wekiva 2:10 in the fourth. You started. I don't know why you call a timeout when you're up by all that one. Especially when you're running a turn.
Full timeout requested by the Mustangs, leading by 16 with 2 minutes 10 seconds left in the ball game. Again, coming up next here at the Metro vs. Florida Challenge, we'll return to our regular format where the home team in each contest is represented by the Orlando Metro Conference, and the visiting team is one of the best programs from the rest of the state of Florida, and nowhere is that more true than at Leesburg. The back-to-back defending state champions of 6A will take on the regional finalists from Edgewater, and that should be one of our most explosive contests of the entire event. We hope that you'll stick around for that. That's coming up next as we wrap up Day 2 action here at Joe Sterling Gymnasium. Double team coming on, and we'll pause for a timeout.
30-second timeout of Apopka.
30-second timeout requested by the Blue Darters. And we'll take this opportunity to thank a few more of our partners, including Elevate Orlando. They're a civic nonprofit that helps the students grow in character and life skills. They teach in the classroom, they model this through mentoring, and they incorporate all they do so that students can apply these skills to their lives. Elevate is a partner of Orange County Public Schools to offer their curriculum as an accredited elective. And their teacher mentors are able to spend 50% of their time outside of school mentoring students. Elevate Orlando. Double dribble violation, Mustangs ball. Checking into the game for Wekiva, Ariana Peterson. And you hear the crowd go wild there. Peterson, another player who normally sees mostly JV minutes, but again, because there is no JV game today, the FHSAA does allow you to move a player back and forth between JV and varsity as often as you like, as long as they don't participate in more than one game on the same day. Putback is made by number 42, Erica Simmons.
So, as we talked about, Mark, now with about a minute 20 left here and an 18-point lead, looks like Wekiva is going to take this victory. That would keep them in the district with only one loss, 4-1, and they have one game left remaining against Evans. They would remain worst-case scenario in a tie with West Orange. So as you also talked about, Mark, even though this is a game being held during the Metro versus Florida, obviously because it's girls action as opposed to boys, this is not the normal Florida, a team outside the Metro Conference playing a team inside the Metro Conference, and this is not just Metro versus Metro, but it's District 9A3 versus District 9A3. So Wekiva will up its overall record to 14-5. Its district record.
Denasia Turner and one.
14-5 overall. The district record will be 4-1 with
Dennis Chabols is called on the foul.
So 4-1 in district for Wekiva, and they will remain in a worst-case scenario of tying with West Orange. Unfortunately, Apopka is going to remain winless. They will be 0-5. They will have one game left as well. But I think the Darters can take a lot out of this game, Mark. I know nobody wants to really talk about moral victories. You want the tangible victory. But in the case of Apopka, after a 3-17 season and coming in with only 2 wins throughout this season, you definitely have to start somewhere in moral victories. As we mentioned a number of times when the teams played last month, it was a running clock that Wekiva won by, which means a 35-point lead during the second half for Wekiva. Tonight, they fought valiantly, led for the first few seconds, and actually wound up cutting the lead by as many as 9 before falling by a relatively close 15 points in comparison to the previous game.
Takes us to the end of the ball game, and it's a 15-point victory in district play for the Mustangs. 59-44 is the final score here in Game 5 of the Metro versus Florida Challenge. Don't go anywhere. We're about 15 minutes away from our next and final game for tonight. The Leesburg Yellow Jackets will challenge the Edgewater Eagles coming up next here at the Metro versus Florida Challenge. For those of you who are planning on staying with us for the Leesburg game, we will ask that you please exit this live stream and get into the next one. You can find the link on our website, metrovsfl.com, as well as on our YouTube channel, Metro versus Florida Challenge. Your next game is going to be Game 6, Edgewater versus Leesburg, coming up in about 13 minutes.